Today is episode 48, and we are talking about excessive holiday drinking. Now, we're not talking about somebody that has, a little bit more of a drinking problem, but we know that holidays really bring up a lot of emotion. So, Helena is going to be talking a lot about that. And in today's episode, we're going to do it a little bit differently. The Divas. I'm Dana J. Smithers. Helena Jenikin is our other diva of the Emotion Code Divas. We thought, our show is all about educating, inspiring, and usually we heal and release trapped emotions from a viewer. But we do recognize that today's show, we didn't have anybody step up, and we recognize that perhaps somebody might be embarrassed about saying that they have a bit of a holiday drinking problem. We're just talking about excessive holiday drinking. We're not talking about a drinking problem. That would be a whole other category and take different number of sessions and healing energies to help with that. But just, it's the holidays, lots of emotions are going on anyway. So we're going to give you mainly an educational piece today and some tips. I'm going to give some law of attraction tips. Helena's going to talk about the subconscious and kind of what's going on right now in this month of December, because it's for a lot of people where the emotions get stirred up. And I will be giving you some law of attraction strategies about how you can deal with the holiday drinking time if you find that perhaps it's a little bit of concern for you or there's some anxiety around it. So I'm a certified emotion code practitioner, as is Helena. We are certified by Dr. Bradley. I say Bradley Cooper. Hello. Who saw Star is Born? I'm sorry, Dr. Bradley Nelson. So you can buy this book. There's lots of case studies in it. What we're going to talk about today and how we show you the steps, the keys to doing an emotion code is also covered in his book. So we'll be going over those steps with you. I'm also a certified law of attraction life coach, and I'm a Reiki practitioner, and I've been doing a lot of emotion codes sessions with people over the holidays, but also after the session, I'm doing distance Reiki for them. So just, we've cleared out the emotions and all of that is good. And with the Reiki, I just bring some calm energy for them. So that might be something that you want to think about as well, just to de-stress once the emotions are going on. So Helena, I'm just going to check out who's watching, and please go ahead. Oh, and by the way, ladies, if you like our hair today, give us a shout out about it. We're doing something different. All right, Helena.
Hello, Dana and viewers. I am Helena Jenikin. Yes, I am a certified emotion code practitioner, but I'm also a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I see men and women here in my office, which is on Vancouver Island, but I also see clients online. And I help people release excess weight, overcome fears and phobias, especially around the dental issues. And that's a specialty called hypnodontics. My other passion is helping people become smoke-free. To become smoke-free in one hypnosis session. With all my hypnosis sessions, I always incorporate emotion code work because it is so effective for releasing emotions and hidden emotions that they're not even aware of that are contributing to their fears, their phobias, their addictions. So that is about me, Dana.
Great. Thanks so much, Helena. And shout out to one of our loyal followers in Rumford, Essex. We always get a weather report from Natasha Paula Samuel. So she says, sunny, a little chilly. It's been nice, sunny. It's dark now. She likes my hair. Thank you, Natasha.
Okay. And a good friend of mine, Sandy McKellar, is also watching and joining us. Hello, Sandy.
Lovely. We love that. So just before we get started on going through the steps that we go through with an emotion code, whether it's by phone, I've been doing a lot on Facebook Messenger. I do some on Blue Jeans. I do some on Zoom, do some on Skype. And sometimes I'm just talking with people on the phone, people I have never met, but we get that connection going and can release those trapped emotions. So in some of our previous shows, I have been pulling angel cards. So today I thought it might be a good idea. And I love this one because it's from Archangel Raphael, who is one of the major archangels for healing. And it says, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. So I love that. It's, you're not alone. There's always somebody, even though you can't see them, maybe you can't even feel them, but there is a higher power, there is a creator, there is a Holy Spirit, there is whatever it is you believe in that is, the life force, the energy in your body, and what is ever keeping you alive and balanced. And this is where the emotion code comes in, because it's the emotions that are still stuck there, and many of them are trapped, especially around this holiday season. So, Helena, let's just jump right into the process. So the first one, I'll hold up the card, is permission.
Permission.
Okay,
That's
so
right,
I
Jen.
want to say something about this because I was thinking about the show. I know several people that have a little bit of a excessive holiday anxiety, and as much as I'd like to work on them, no, no.
No, that's right, because we don't have their permission. It is a core fundamental principle of the emotion code that we only work with people that have given us verbal or written permission to work with them. And what's really great though is an adult, a guardian, can give us permission to work on their child and or animal. So that part is really good.
Yeah. And so once we have their permission, we then become their proxy. If they're not with us, what does this mean, Helena?
Well, the proxy means that we can ask their subconscious mind directly questions, yes or no questions, and we don't need to be in the same physical space. And that's why this works so great as a distance healing technique. Even when I work with clients in my office, I ask for their permission and ask to become their proxy so I can connect and do the work that I need to do. And to do the work that I need to do, I like to ask them, and Dana, we like to ask them about the severity.
Exactly. So what we're asking on a scale of 1 to 10, how much anxiety do you have around this? How much is this stressing you out, or how blocked do you feel? And so if somebody says, well, a 4 or 5, we will take that because that's what their conscious mind is telling them. But when we tap into their subconscious, usually it's anywhere from an 8 to a 10, that really subconsciously that is actually how they're feeling. That anxiety is much higher. So we do check in, and the way that we check in is by doing what we call
Muscle test, muscle testing. So this is how I do my muscle testing. I have an agreement with my subconscious mind that when I link these two fingers together like that, and I think of the word yes, they link together and they're solidly linked together. And when I think of the word no, they just pull apart. So when I do the work on person, I'm going to be asking yes or no questions, and that's a yes and that's a no. How about you, Dana?
Yeah, perfect. In Dr. Brad's book, he's got lots of different examples for you that you can try to see what works for you. For me, it's an index and thumb together, my other index and middle finger, and my subconscious and I have an agreement when I'm the proxy for someone, that's a yes and that's a no. And sometimes I will use a pendulum. Um, However, I do find the pendulum is slower. So I still get a yes or no answer, and you might want to try pendulum just to see. Often, if you get the right crystal, again, if you're going to get a pendulum, it has to feel right, and the best way to have it feeling right is to put it in your non-dominant hand and just see what kind of feeling you get. Is it a yes or a no for you with that particular? Uh, Helena, you want to say something?
I do. Finding pendulums. So I walked into a crystal shop, maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, and I looked over at these pendulums, and they were all hanging on a wooden display
Yeah.
thing. One of the pendulums started swinging in a yes motion.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I went, "Are you supposed to come with me?" And it started to swing more and more. I kid you not. So it's like, all
Wow.
right, I'm purchasing you and you're coming home with me. So that's my pendulum.
Oh, I love that. I love it. And I totally believe it.
Yeah.
I totally believe it. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Just gonna say hello to Delilah Cordova, and this is cute. She says, I love your hair. And Natasha loves your hair too, Helena. She didn't realize it was tied behind, but I'm trying to get Helena to just let that go, right? Because it
Look
looks
at the,
so
look at the
beautiful.
ponytail.
If I was there, I would just cut that off right now. Okay, sorry, we're digressing from the show. You can tell it's kind of holiday season. Delilah Cordova, you all need to teach on how to decorate your office space. All right. Well, I used to be an interior decorator and a home stager for about 10 years. So I used to do it virtually, but actually I don't do that anymore. So, all I know, what is wrong? It must be the hair, right? The curliness, all this stuff is coming out. All right. So we've got severity. We do muscle testing. What are we muscle testing for? So I've got the emotion code chart here.
That's right. We're testing the emotion code chart. So the emotion code chart is something that Dr. Brad put together, and he's put 60 negative emotions together, and he's put them into two columns, column A and column B. And then he divided it into 6 rows, so 1 through 6. So when we're doing our muscle testing and we're asking if there's any negative trapped emotions to be released, we'll be asking, is it in column A or column B? Is it an odd row or an even row? And then we come down to a set of 5 different emotions. And then we can ask individually about that emotion. And when we find a yes answer, then we can go ahead and release it.
Exactly. And the other thing that Dr. Brad has on his emotion code chart, I like to work a lot with chakras. And that's often where I'll use my pendulum as well. I can just find out what chakras are blocked. But he's also got in the rows, he tells you whether what organ or part of the body is connected. So in row 1, it's heart or small intestine. So sometimes when Helene and I are working on the heart wall, we might just go through all of those 10 emotions across the top and just ask if any of those are in the heart wall and blocking from love being received or given. That sometimes can be a starting point as well. And then he has the other stomach, intestines, that sort of thing on that chart as well. And so what we're doing is when we're releasing that, we are using
Magnets.
magnets.
So we're using magnets, and we're doing this swiping motion here. And the reason we're doing the swiping motion is we're taking the magnets, which intensify our intention to release the negative trapped emotion. It's like canceling it out. So it pops out of the energetic body or the physical system into the energetic body, and we're wiping it away. And Dana, you were just talking about the different emotions and the different organs that generate those emotions, or where where they originate from or stored. And it's based on acupuncture, ancient Chinese acupuncture. And this motion here is swiping along the governing meridian, which starts underneath the nose and goes all the way down to the tailbone. And that meridian, that energy meridian, connects with all the other meridians in the body. So that's why we're doing it this way.
Yeah. And according to what I've read in the studies, there are 12 meridians, but most people know our 7 chakras points, but there's way more chakra points in our body than that. And, that's the energy points in our body are all over the body. And then the last thing that we need to do, and we ask you to do as well, is to be
Hydrated.
Exactly.
That's right. Cheers. Cheers, Dana.
Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, I'm going to take a drink right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what we thought we'd do right now, I'll just give a shout out to Pamelia Bell. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us. We love if you want to share this. We've got some good information here. So what we're going to do right now, Helena's going to talk about emotions and the emotion code and kind of what's going on. And then I'm going to give you a few law of attraction strategies about how you can manage and strategize over this holiday season with the parties or homes that you're going to, or even if you're by yourself, right? Sometimes that can just bring on a little bit too much drinking that's not really healthy for your body. So Helena, why don't you go ahead and share that?
Certainly. So when I see clients in my office when I'm seeing them for hypnotherapy and we're working on drinking issues, drinking addiction or alcoholism and so forth, that's often a 4, 5, 6 session program, because we're uncovering layers and layers and layers of different emotions, experiences. And what's really interesting is when I do the emotion code, almost immediately the emotions come up around anger, bitterness,
Yes.
guilt, hatred, resentment, depression, frustration, indecisiveness, panic, and taken for granted. And those are in row 4, liver and gallbladder. The liver is highly susceptible to excess drinking and alcohol. As we know, the liver is the cleanser,
Absolutely.
and that's right. And the gallbladder is the one that generates the different enzymes, I believe. Isn't that right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And so imagine being able to taking alcohol into your system, excess alcohol into your system, how hard your liver must need to work, and digestion and like getting rid of it and elimination, all that kind of stuff. But what if it started with the emotions? What if it was these emotions that were causing the person to drink more than they wanted to, the anger, the bitterness, etc.? Maybe it's reversed. Maybe it's not the drinking that's the problem. Maybe it's the emotions that are the problem creating the drinking habit or addiction. So by using the emotion code, we can release these emotions that are often buried so deep. And that's why in hypnotherapy, it's not just one session or 2 sessions, it's 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions, because it takes time to peel away the layers. And those layers are located in the subconscious part of the mind. Now, the subconscious part of the mind is the part of the mind that's the automatic behavior. It's the subconscious part of the mind, the habits, the beliefs were all created long time ago, often before the age of 10 years old. And we think that our conscious mind is the part of the mind that's in control. But if that was true, then we would just simply decide to stop drinking, right? Or stop smoking, or stop biting the nails, or do whatever it is, stop excessive eating. It's all in the subconscious part of the mind. And I have found, Dana, that when we add in the emotion code, we can move through the process and allow the person to drink responsibly or drink not at all. All of a sudden, it's really interesting. People just lose their craving for certain types of foods and beverages very rapidly with using the emotion code. Do you have any questions, Dana?
Well, I think, no, I like what you're saying there a lot because with this holiday season,
Mhm.
Helena talked about emotions getting trapped, a lot up to that age 10, but these can be inherited. If
Yes.
you've got an alcoholic, parent or generations back, some of that energy can still, the guilt, the hatred, the bitterness. That's interesting, Helena, with looking at that column, because that is exactly what I found. And I remember working with someone she was finding that she was drinking about a half a bottle of wine every night. And it
Mhm.
took a lot of sessions. As you say, it's not the one stop smoking session, but it's a lot of sessions. And finally, at about the 5th session, she remembered something. She said, I have never thought about that since, she was like 12 years old or something. And it came up, and it was just like, ah,
Yep.
just a release from that. And then we removed some others. And then, she didn't entirely stop drinking, but at least she recognized that energy and those feelings were released that she had.
Yeah.
And so, it can be inherited, but the holiday season, I've been working with several people that are going through grieving. And what they found is this is the first holiday season without their partner, or this is, the second or the third, or just something gets triggered. Some emotions, it could be a smell of
Mhm.
something. It could be a particular family gathering where they immediately walk in and they don't feel good. So there's all sorts of emotions that are going on, and we really, really encourage you, if you do have this going on, even if it's not the drinking, maybe it's the eating or the Christmas blues or the holiday blues, please contact us because we really know that this can help you. So
Mhm.
that's the emotional part that's going on, right? Something gets triggered. So I want to talk to you about some strategies with the law of attraction. So I think the most important thing to do is run the whole movie, right? So what's going to happen? You have too much to drink, you don't feel well, food doesn't feel good. Maybe you get to the point where even you're feeling sick. If you're running that kind of movie, we want to stop it And what we want to do is we want to run a movie that has you in control. So we want to look at how you're going to feel
Hmm.
when you're mindful about the drinking that you have. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest is set an intention. So, if you work in an office, there's holiday parties, if you've got a big family, there's family gatherings. A lot of things even start in November. Whether it's Hanukkah or it's a Christian holiday like Christmas, it doesn't matter. This is the time of year. It's excess everything. Just go out shopping and you'll see, like, why is everybody out shopping, right? Like, it's so much going on, and that can trigger all of those emotions for you. So set an intention that you're going to have an enjoyable holiday season. That's the intention, that you're going to be mindful of the food, the excess of anything that you're doing. And then Helena mentioned this, and I'm just going to say it from a law of attraction perspective, is that when you decide, it's different from just saying and being not mindful about it, right? Yeah, well, I'm going to decide not to drink. I'm seriously saying set the intention and decide. There's no trying here. We don't like to hear that. Well, I'm going to try and have a bit less, because chances are if you're going to try, that's a no in the law of attraction world. So decide that you're going to have a little bit less, and you're going to be mindful this time of what you're consuming. And the third strategy that I want to suggest is start to create what's called desire statements. So desire statements are part of the mind talk that you have with yourself. And remember, law of attraction matches your vibration. So if you're saying, well, you know what, I just love how it feels when I'm with my family. I just love how it feels when we're sharing memories. I notice that I'm enjoying myself more when I have less to drink. Or I really like how it feels when I don't have that extra piece of Christmas cake or shortbread or mincemeat tarts, Dana. So, we're talking about excessive. We're not talking about just enjoying, right? It's holiday time. Please enjoy. You know, Treat yourself to family gatherings, enjoy that. But we're just talking about the excessive part of it. So, Helena, what might be something that somebody could say to themselves that's a nice desire statement about how they're going to feel?
Oh, but let's try this. I really enjoy the feeling of waking up in the morning clear-headed, fresh, and raring to go.
Exactly, right? So none of that hangover, dull energy kind of thing going on, because there's a lot to do around the holidays. It's a busy time.
Yes. And the other thing too is I found that in my earlier years when I used to drink more alcohol, I've lost the desire for alcohol. I noticed the last few years going through the transition, going through menopause, that alcohol had a more of a negative effect, really affected my sleep in the negative way. So I actually said that I rather enjoy waking up in the morning after a good night's sleep. And so when it comes to the wine offering, it's easy to say no because I know that I really enjoy waking up in the morning after refreshed after a good night's sleep. Lovely, sparkling water. I often get this.
Yeah, I'm going to get into those. Yeah.
What's really nice is there's certain companies out there that sell essential oils that you can actually drink. Um,
Oh,
I've never seen it available for sale at a store level, but they're always like through network marketing companies. There's one in particular, and they have like lemon, lime, grapefruit, orange, tangerine, and just one drop into a glass of soda water. Delicious.
lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could be another desire statement that we're saying, right? Thinking about the future. I really like the taste of this drink that I've brought myself this time. I really like the taste of it. It's sparkling, it's fresh, and I really like knowing that I can safely drive myself home. I really like knowing that I can safely drive my family member home or my partner or whatever, because that's a really important um, way that you want to be sober. Even though I know it's been said that I think legally, if someone at an event is serving alcohol, I don't know what the case is where you live, but I know in BC that they are legally responsible for the
Yes.
amount of alcohol that you consume. And if you get in an accident and you're the host, you are
You could be
legally
sued.
responsible. Yeah, you can be
You are.
sued. So that's another reason. I love knowing that my guests are just drinking the right amount when they come to my party and that they're enjoying themselves, right? So if you're the one hosting, yeah, be mindful of what you have and have a lot of alternative beverages, which I'm going to talk about right now. So the part of another strategy is, take action, be proactive. Helena mentioned the essential oils in a drink. BYOB. Bring, this is what goes on. I have found whether at parties, not so much in bars, because in bars, you can ask for, if you ask for a glass of ginger ale in a wine glass, it's about the socialization that goes on. If you're standing there and you've got a wine glass of ginger ale, everybody gets connected. They think you're drinking and ha ha ha, that sort of thing, right? It's a social thing. Try cranberry juice.
Yeah. Dana, just before I forget, because I want to remember this. I'll have clients come in and they're like, but I don't want to give up my alcohol because let's say they're coming in for a weight release program and alcohol is one of those empty calories that actually packs on the pounds quite
Yes.
quickly. And I'll ask them, it's like, okay, so we're doing this 4-month program and you're not willing to give up alcohol for 4 months. I think we have to have a different conversation. If you're unable to give up your alcoholic beverages, even if you don't consider yourself an alcoholic or have a drinking problem, there's a different conversation that needs to happen.
Yeah.
What's going on that you feel that you can't give up an alcoholic beverage? Something's going on there.
Yeah.
It would be just like if I talked to someone with weight release, and it's like, oh, but chips, you want to do everything else, but you want to hang on to your chips? Let's have a conversation about
And the
that.
dip. And the dip.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. So, taking actions, if it's BYOB, bring a bottle of, seltzer. There's so many beverages that you can buy in cans as well that are non-alcoholic. That again, because it becomes such a social thing when you're there with someone, or have that cranberry juice or some alternative. And if you've had some wine or alcohol or whatever cocktails, know when it's time to start drinking water.
Well, actually, Dana, what a really great tip is, you start your evening off with a glass of water so you're hydrated, so you're not drinking because you're thirsty and drinking alcohol because you're thirsty. And if with every alcoholic beverage, have a full glass of water. You'll find yourself hydrated and your hands are busy. You're doing something.
Exactly. I was going to get to that because that's the thing, right? When Helena talks about smoking, we did a great special episode on, Helena gave 10 stop smoking tips. So I highly recommend, it's in the Emotion Code Divas uh, in our Facebook page as well. But, it's the habit of smoking, right? So Helena gives some great tips on that. It's also the habit of drinking, right? So it's some of the same things. If you always drink with your right hand, switch to your left hand, right? And maybe get a different type of glass that you're using, right? You could probably even get one of those fake things that looks like it's got a beverage in it, right? And it never goes down, but it becomes so social, and there's a lot of peer pressure that happens. Especially oftentimes with the type of people that you hang out with, that's their go-to thing is drinking. Helena, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the peer pressure actually originated way back when you were in those socializing periods, when you were like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, when it was really important to have friends and belong, fit in, be cool.
Yeah, that's right.
And so that's what's actually got trapped and linked with the smoking. What's got trapped and linked is that feeling of feel good, have a
Yes.
cigarette. As way back when. So I don't know if you remember way back when you were younger and you first started to drink alcohol socially, it was a feel good thing. Your friends were all there. There was a link.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is that peer pressure, but it's from way, way back when. Yeah. You're an adult now, fully in charge of your own emotional state. You get to choose what you drink and how much you drink. It is your choice.
Exactly. And I noticed too, since the summer where I've been doing Reiki and became a practitioner, I remember buying just a little bottle of some champagne to celebrate something with my husband. So, I poured a glass for each of us. I ended up pouring the bottle out. I just didn't even want it. I thought, nah, it doesn't even have it just doesn't affect me the way it once did. And I really didn't want to have it. And like you say, waking up in the morning and not feeling good. So yeah, for whatever reasons, I'm grateful for that. I've no attraction to it. So with the law of attraction, right? Just, take a look at also who you're hanging out with.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe choose which parties you go to. If you know there's going to be a lot of drinking, again, set an intention, decide what you want the evening or the party to look like, or even by yourself, what do you want the evening to look like? Talk about how it feels so good when you're not having that drink, you're enjoying yourself. Decide to maybe have water, glass of wine, some water, maybe it's a cocktail or whatever. And also too, something I should mention is about the holiday drinking and all inclusives.
Ah,
Because my husband and I have gone to a lot of all-inclusive. It's kind of our year-end treat. We love to go to the Caribbean, Cuba, Mexico, Dominican Republic, whatever. And when we first went, oh my goodness, if you're new to an all-inclusive, you just think, wow, like wherever you go, whether you're in the pool, we had the swim up bar, the whatever, all of that's there. But it's over the years that it's like, no, and I'll just get water or soda water, or they always supply a lot of big water bottles, so we'll just take those with us. But it's so easy when you're not mindful. So we're saying enjoy it, but just be mindful of the amount that you're having. And also, Helene, I love that you mentioned the hydration part, because when you just drink, if you're eating a lot of savories as well and you're drinking, go to the water, reach for the water, because you're going to get so dehydrated from that. And then if you think you're going to back it up with some coffee, coffee causes dehydration as well, and then you've got the caffeine, and you're really not going to sleep well. So it's about, being mindful with all of that. But with all inclusives, I know it's fun that first time. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe there's so much excess of everything. But, watch the sun tanning, watch the amount of food that you consume, and also the amount of alcohol, and you'll have a much better time for that. And the last thing I want to say about the law of attraction here is just remember to express gratitude. We in this Western society that we live in, we have so much to be grateful for. If you're with family and friends, express a gratitude for that. And, be mindful of how much alcohol you are consuming, especially at somebody else's party. Or, sometimes family, can be a little bit more emotional than just being with friends. So, be mindful, express a gratitude that you have, this is, a time of the year that we're very grateful for all of the blessings that we have. And I just find wrapping everything up in that nice present with the gratitude that aren't you grateful that, you're with friends, you have a nice drink, but be mindful of it and treat your body and mind well.
mhm, mhm. The other thing, Dan, is you know how much alcohol costs? In Canada, especially, maybe
Yeah.
Europe as well. In States, it seems to be a little less money when you go buy it, but just the cost of a bottle of wine up in Canada, you're spending, 12, 15, $20. How many times a week? Three, four, five, six. Some people are drinking a bottle a week, like a bottle a night between a couple.
Yeah.
And $20 a day times 30, that's $600 a month in just alcohol. That's more than that's about $7,000, $7,200 a year drinking a bottle of $20 wine a night.
And especially if you do get during the holidays, if you go to the champagne or you go to sparkling wines, or some of them, oh, I'll just get this more expensive wines. It's very true. That's another thing I've noticed too, is that it's not so much on our visa, right? The charge
Yeah.
for that. And same with cigarettes, right? We talk about that in the show, how much that is. And if you're really a heavy smoker, I mean, the amount of money that you can, it's not just the money, it's how you're treating your body. So your body mind connection, right? That's what Helena and I care about so much is your health, right? And all this different types of healing modalities that Helena and I have on our toolkit. We really do want to help you lead a healthier, more mindful life, and that the body, mind, and spirit connection has you in harmony and balanced, and you go about your day, feeling good about life and about your contribution to it.
Yeah. Dan, I have a lady who's a smoker coming in on Monday,
Good.
and she is so looking forward to being smoke-free before Christmas and before New Year's. And
Love it.
do you know that she says that she's actually going to be able to pay by not smoking for my services within a couple of weeks?
Wow, nice.
So, and she was kind of working out. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to save money and go finally on that cruise that I always
Wow.
wanted to go." Yeah. So even
So
just
on
taking,
that cruise, let's just have a little mindful of what goes on there as
yeah,
well.
yeah. But it really is amazing when we start to that forward positive thoughts about when people often think, "Oh, I'm giving up something." Well, actually, you're not giving up anything. You're gaining a lot of other things that you rather want. And so with that holiday drinking, just want to be mindful of all the things that you'll be gaining by choosing to be more conscious about what you're putting into your body. You want to peel away all those outside layers, all those excuses, the reasons for drinking, and get to the core of it all. And the core of it all is this beautiful rose. And that's who you are. You're a beautiful rose. Let's peel away all the outside stuff and just keep that lovely core.
Exactly. All right. Well, I thanks so much for people viewing in. Uh,
Did we say hello to Parmelia Bell? I'm not quite sure. Hello, Parmelia Bell.
Thanks for watching. It's funny. Wanda Shaw says, "This is to me. This is your best in capitals look so far." Well, the thing of it is, my hair is natural curly. So this is me getting out of the shower, putting makeup on, and not even touching my hair. So I'm just trying some new things because I'm letting my hair grow again. I'm going to Italy next year. It's a trip for myself. I'm going with the Sacred Gifts tour with Sacred Gifts Guides and Monique McDonald, and it's scheduled for September. So I wanted to be able to put my hair back, right? Either just wear a hat or tie it up or whatever. And I've just decided, I think you all know, I mentioned this last time, I'm 70 now. So 70 is my year for more fun, being a bit silly. And yeah, so this is just part of that little silly look that I'm enjoying. So thank you, Wanda. All right, Helena, how can people get a hold of you?
People can get a hold of me through my website, which is flourishhypnosis.com/emotion code. I have my YouTube channel as well as a Facebook page, which is Flourish Hypnosis.
Right. And Helena, you have an office. So how can people, so where is your office and what about office hours for them?
Yeah, so my office is located on Vancouver Island. I'm in a little town called Cobble Hill, which is about a half an hour, 35-minute drive from Victoria, about 45 minutes from Nanaimo. I actually have someone coming over from Vancouver on the ferry. They're going to catch the 7 a.m. ferry on Friday to come see me in my office. I like to have appointments that are about 3 hours long, 2.5 to 3 hours long, because first appointments, we do a lot of work. And occasionally I'm actually in Vancouver, so I see clients in Vancouver as well.
Yeah, so if you want to stop smoking, Helena is absolutely the go-to person for that. Also, Helena has some great weight release programs and the hypnosis, the emotion code, and really we have other tools in our toolkit as well. But we provide the tools that we think are going to be best for that person's healing and whatever it is they're dealing with. So thanks so much, Helena. And you have a YouTube channel as well?
I do. It's under, you can find me both under Helena Jenikin and Flourish Hypnosis.
Great, thanks so much. And you can find me on my website, empoweredwomeninbusiness.com/emotion-code. And also, my YouTube channel is Empowered Women in Business. And Helena and I would just like to let you know that for next week's show, I think we need a drum roll on this one because I'm a bit guilty to this. I've been better, but I kind of fallen off. Episode Resistance to Exercise.
Oh, Dana, please bring it on.
Yeah, exactly. So it's rainy out, I don't get out as much. And I've got my yoga and I do that, but I'm getting a little bit sluggish about it. So we might even be working on me. Anyway, we're looking for a viewer. Yeah. Yeah, I'll work on you. You can work on me. Resistance exercise. So if that's you, let us know. We would love to do a session for you. And also, if you have had a if you have had a session with us, we'd love to hear. I know that people contact us individually, but we'd love for you to post that as well in the show if we've helped you and if you've had a emotion code session on the show with us, or even not on the show. We just appreciate those comments, and please share. We've got some great shows planned in 2019. We're going to shake it up a little bit. That's to be determined what that looks like. But yeah, so any topics that you're interested in, Helena, maybe I'll do a post on that, just asking people for topics that they'd like us to talk about. And if you enjoy our show, let us know. And we really do appreciate it. And Helena and I, we really do care. We really do love the work that we can do, and using our sacred gifts of healing and making a difference in someone's life. This is non-invasive healing that we're providing for you. You don't have to go into a hospital. You don't have to go into a center. You can come into Helena's safe space and healthy space, or as I say, we do things by distance as well. But if you really are struggling with something, or the heart wall is coming up, emotions run high with the heart in December, please connect with us. We would love to hear from you. So that's a wrap for today, Helena. So just say goodbye to our viewers. Yeah, thanks so much.